Arthur Winston Lewis. I retired as a senior chief quartermaster. This is when I got out for the second time. And when I got the telegram from the Department of Defense, and I went to the receiving station at the shipyard in Brooklyn, they said, well, you'll get your assignment pretty soon. So my assignment came about 4 or 5 days later to the pre-commissioning crew of the Saratoga. So that was nice because I lived in Jamaica, Queens, and it's like coming to the office every day, back and forth. And so I was there at home with my wife and the kids for the first time in a long time while I was in the Navy. But I really enjoyed being transferred to the Saratoga because this was like the apex of my career in the Navy. I was still under construction, it was in the dry dock. They were putting in the decking and the walls around the ship, you know. And every day there was something going on, something like that in construction. And here I was with the chief, and there was another first class. He and I were assigned to the navigation division. He was a first class quartermaster. So we settled in on the charts, and that took months and really hard work. So I don't remember much except those months of correcting charts and ordering new charts and making sure that the charts were up to date. A great feeling seeing this huge, huge ship. And I've always been sort of like in love with it, you know. I mean, a big ship. I remember the first time we had to go out to sea, I had to compute the time that it was going to be low tide under the Brooklyn Bridge, because with the mast up, didn't have enough room underneath. So I had to compute what was going to be the exact time when the tide was at the lowest. And then we shipped the mast down, and we got through. I won't forget that, yeah. That was sea trials, yeah. Well, it was wonderful because I remember the destroyer, I remember the PC, how uncomfortable it could be, you know. And then also, we had all of this speed, 36 knots we could do. That's a lot of speed. You have to make sure that at 36 knots, things were not shaking so much that you couldn't use the instruments, you know. No, it was really quite something to see the majesty of the ship. Really. I got to learn a lot about the ship itself. And then as the crew began to develop, coming in, it was like going to the office every day. You know, I'd leave home in the morning at 7:30, and I'd be out in the Navy Yard at 8:15, be there till 4:30 in the afternoon. And we began to develop the N division, the navigation division. And officers were just coming in. So our navigator was a Navy aviator, and he never navigated anything. But he was willing to learn, you know. And the chief, he was lordly, as some chiefs are. He wanted to make sure I didn't upset his sinecure that he had there on the ship. But I mean, we had a nice group. I don't remember any names, But I remember, it was kind of old-fashioned. We had a bugler, can you imagine, 1956? And he would play taps in the evening and then wake up in the morning, you know, and then various bugle calls during the day. And finally I told him, I said, you're not much of a bugler. I'm gonna have to send you off to bugler school. So I talked to the chief and he got sent off to bugler school. And in 2004 or something like that, after the Saratoga was decommissioned. It wasn't decommissioned, it was still commissioned. There was the Saratoga Association, and they had a meeting in Washington here. So I went to the meeting, and lo and behold, there was a guy I sent off to bugler school. He never forgot it. No, the Saratoga was really something.